Today we are taking you with us to the most famous activity in Istanbul, the Bosphorus boat tour, to find out if it's really worth doing.
We're also going to explore the Galata area, try the best baklava in town, eat traditional Turkish soup and accidentally discover the best photo spots in the city.
If you're planning a trip to Istanbul, you don't want to miss this video. Let's get started.
Good morning, we are at Eminönü Square and we're about to buy tickets to do the Bosphorus tour. Yesterday we found a place that would sell it to us for €5 per person, which is one of the cheapest ones we have found in the city. I'm really excited to do it. We're gonna take you along with us and we're gonna tell you if it's worth it or not. It lasts an hour and a half, and after that we're gonna go explore the part of the city across the bridge. So there's a lot to see today. Let's get going.
We bought the tickets, I paid in euros and they gave me the change in Turkish lira, which is great because we didn't have any Turkish lira. But one word of caution, there are two stands side by side. One of them is selling a ticket for 80 Turkish lira, which is a lot more affordable, but it takes you to Princess Island, and that is not the Bosphorus tour, which means that you have to go, buy other tickets and come back. So make sure to not fall into that. 200 Turkish lira, and now we're gonna go inside.
We got tickets for the 11 AM tour but hopped onto the boat about 15 minutes before to get a good seat. The boat didn't get full and there was lots of space with good views, so you don't really need to board early if you don't want to. At exactly 11, we left the dock and started the tour, although we did make a few stops in other points in the city for people to hop on.
It is no wonder that this is the most popular activity in Istanbul, as it is the best way to soak in the views of the Bosphorus Strait, which, by the way, is 32 kilometers long. You'll also get to sail under the Bosphorus Bridge, the first bridge in the world that connects the continents of Europe and Asia.
It was a really pleasant ride and a great way to see some of the further landmarks like the Dolmabahce Palace or Maiden's Tower. We just got off the boat and it was such a lovely tour. It did take a little bit longer than expected, so it took about 2 hours.
And also there was no tour guide inside or music playing, so that was pretty nice because you were just listening to the sea. We noticed there's a tour over there that costs 150 Turkish lira per person, so that's cheaper. But of course we went to this one and we like this, so we have to recommend it.
I think this one for the value, thumbs up from Nalva Travels.
But now it's time for us to cross the bridge and go to the other side of Istanbul.
By this point it was lunchtime and I had seen a recommendation of a traditional soup restaurant just across Galata Bridge. So naturally this was our next stop.
Is it good? Mm-hmm. It's so delicious. Soups here are a thing as well. And it took like 45 seconds for the soup to come out. And I'm starving, so that makes me pretty happy. You can take like little bread pieces from this huge bucket. But we were not done trying local food and had to make a quick stop to try probably the most famous food in the whole of Turkey. We just got our baklavas, they look delicious.
And we had to get some Turkish coffee. So today we're doing back-to-back traditional foods. I think this is the perfect midday stop though, because I need some recharge and then we will continue exploring. We're gonna go to the Galata Tower.
Yes, and then the commercial street as well, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah, so we're taking the whole afternoon to explore this area and let's try the coffee. Let's see, it's meant to be strong, so. Yes. Oh wow.
Is it strong?
Hella strong. It's like thick. It's good, but it's very strong. I asked medium sugar only.
You want a glass of water?
No, I'm good, I'm good. Is it a crime if I dip the baklava?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
I think. I'm actually not sure.
You have no idea, my friend. Oh my god. This is so good.
After stuffing our faces with baklava and powering up with Turkish coffee, we finally took off to explore the historical streets of Galata Tower. This city is all up hills and down hills, but mainly up hills for some reason. So we have to go all the way up to see the Galata Tower. Let's go.
An Instagram spot.
We are right outside of the Galata Tower. There's a queue. It's not huge, but there is a queue. But the most important is that the ticket is 30 euros. And are we gonna pay 30 euros to go up there?
Per person.
Per person? No, we are not, quite honestly. I think there's so many places in the city where the views are absolutely phenomenal. And I'm sure this is one of them. But the other ones are free. So, either way, beautiful.
Even if you're not gonna go up the tower, it's really worth it coming to this area because it's so beautiful. You can see the tower from the other angles, the other streets, and there's an atmosphere here. It's reminding me, these streets, a little bit of Lisbon as well, because you can see the sea through the streets. It's really beautiful. So recommend checking out anyway.
We made it to the commercial street in the north. I believe it's the north of Galata Tower. It took us about 10 minutes to walk here, and it was, of course, uphill. This street kind of connects like the old part with the newer one, and we really like it. There was the red tram here, which kind of reminds me of Lisbon, that has the famous yellow tram. And people were taking on and taking pictures, and it went off into the distance. But yeah, it's a really nice, this area of Istanbul feels so different from the other side of the river, where it's so chaotic. There are so many markets in the street, whereas here, less people, more modern, I would say. And yeah, I really like it. Really good juxtaposition, if that's a word.
Yeah. As we walked further into the commercial street, it did get busier, but it was still a very pleasant walk with lots of shops, cafes and restaurants. An ice cream stand lured me in, and shortly after that we started our walk back down to the Riverside. And for the first time in the whole trip, we finally walked downhill and not up. We were walking down and we came across this street that is like the most famous for taking photos of the Galata Tower, and we were gonna miss it completely. I'm glad we passed by it. I'll leave the exact street here so you guys can come because the photos are gorgeous. Look at this.
To go back down to the Riverside, we had to walk through some very narrow streets, but finally we made it and we were rewarded with these incredible views.
As we were walking back to the Sultanahmet area, we discovered the Halik Altın Bridge, which has incredible views over the city. This is not a spot that is usually included in the Istanbul guides, but we highly recommend to pass by it because the views are so much better than the Galata Bridge, and it gets you from one side of the city to the other in the exact same way. We came to the Riverside to end our day and actually hear the prayer call because it was so cool from here. We could hear like the whole city. It was awesome.
Yeah, it feels like every noise of Istanbul kind of echoes through the sea right here. You can hear the boats, the trains, the construction. It's pretty awesome. But talking about the boat tour that we did across the Bosphorus, we really liked it and we would definitely recommend anyone to do it.
The best part about it was that we got to see places that are far away from the center that we wouldn't have otherwise had time to go visit them. So that way you see everything in one go, a couple hours. 100% recommend. The rest of the day was also awesome. Istanbul is just so beautiful.
Right now we're probably gonna go watch the sunset somewhere. We're gonna get some food and relax because tomorrow we are taking a flight out to Cappadocia. So make sure to subscribe to this channel because we have some really exciting content coming up.
If you want to hear all the tips and travel hacks to go to Cappadocia, make sure to subscribe. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed, and I guess we'll see you
in our next video.